All right, for this first section, let me remind you on the steps for solving for x. The first thing you do is you take care of the parentheses. The second thing you do is put the same together. So if you had like 3x plus 5x to give you 8x. The next thing you do is get the x's on the same side. Then add, subtract, multiply, divide. Okay, so let's look at number 1. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite it over here. Remember, you're not going to get to write on this, so it's just good to practice rewriting. Draw the line. You notice the x's are on the same side. Put them together. Divide by 4. X equals -5. Done. Okay. This problem is similar. I'm going to rewrite it over here. Remember, you have to get used to rewriting because you're not going to get to write on the test. So this one is similar to this one in the sense that these two are the same, so you put them together. So these two are the same, so you put them together with an imaginary 1. -1 and -4 is -5. K plus 1 equals -14. Subtract 1. Divide by -5. K equals +3. Now, you will be able to use your calculator. So use your calculator if you're not sure that a negative divided by a negative is a positive. Okay? Number 3. This one, let me show my work. Here, rewriting. Draw your line. Now this one's similar to this one, but a little bit different. It does have x's on the same side, but this one's on the other side, so don't even look at it. So now what I'm going to do is put those together. And now this is when I'm going to get the x's on the same side, small x to big X. Do the opposite, -6x. 4x equals +8. Divide by 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Okay. Let's look at number 4. Number 4 is the most complex. Draw your line. Step 1 was take care of the parentheses. So multiply, multiply. Now this one is similar to this, that you put the same together. So let me kind of show how often that happened. 6x, 2x, 4x. -1, -4, -5. 2x, 8x, that's on the other side, don't do it. 10x. Okay? So -6n, 24n, 18n. Use your calculator. Now subtract 8. 18n equals -144. Divide by 18. And this is something, I'm not that cool, so I'm going to use my calculator, and I'm going to type in negative, oops, not too many negatives, 144 divided by 18. And I get -8, which is letter D. Okay? Number 5, and honestly 5, 6, 7, and 8, you don't have to solve any of these by substitution. This one where it says solve by elimination, when it says solve by substitution, you could do that if you remember. That's when you would add 6 minus 4 is 2x. -18 plus 12 is equal to -6. Divide by 2. X equals -3. That's the only one that has an x of -3, so you're done. This one, it's not as easy to do that. So remember, this is when you give this guy gets this one gets this one, and you just have to make sure they're opposite. So since they're both negative, this one has to be negative, so they're opposite. Multiply, 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 multiply. So it's going to be rewritten as 12x minus 36y equals -180. -12x plus 6y equals 30. Add them up. Now I can eliminate just like I could over here. And I get -30y equals -150. Divide by -30. Y equals 5. So since I see that y equals 5, I know it can't be A or C. So now I know that it's B or D. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to test the ones because I know it's either 1 or 5. So I'm going to put the 5 right here in for the y. It doesn't matter what y I pick. 3 times 5 is 15. So it would be negative 6x plus 15 equals 15. Subtract 15. I get a 0. The answer is D. Solve by substitution. This is when you did the equal values method. So you're going to take this guy and set it equal to this guy. So you go 3x plus 12 equals x plus 4. Draw your line. Remember up here when you did small x to big X by subtracting 6x? Same thing, small x to big X, negative 1x. 2x plus 12 equals 4. Subtract 12. 2x equals negative 8. Divide by 2. X equals negative 4. And there's only one answer, so I'm good to go. Number 8. They're both y equals. Since they're both y equals, set them equal to each other. Negative 2x minus 2 equals negative 3x minus 2. Small x to big X. Negative 2 equals negative 1x minus 2 plus 2. I get a 0. X equals 0. So that means it's not B, and it's not A. Careful, though, because it says x. So now I'm going to plug it in. Negative 2 times 0 is 0. Minus 2 is negative 2. So it's C. This one's pretty cool because they already gave me my y value. So I'm just going to take this 3 and plug it in right there. Negative 4x minus 3 equals negative 11. Plus 3 plus 3. Negative 4x equals negative 8. Divide by negative 4. A negative over negative is a positive. X equals 2. Y equals negative 3. B. Okay. This is the most difficult one for you guys. So this is when you're going to have to take all of this, and it goes in for there. So I'm going to have to do that one on a separate piece of paper. So I'll show that. So the problem is y equals x plus 2, and 3x minus 3y equals negative 6. So you took this, and it went in for y. So you're going to go 3x minus 3, x plus 2 equals negative 6. Multiply, multiply, just like we did above, but the same together. So it's 0x, so really you don't even have anything left. And then you see negative 6 equals negative 6. How often does negative 6 equal negative 6? It's true all the time. So that means there aren't any points that work. Infinite number of solutions. Number 11, this is when we put the things that are the same together. So if I have 5v4 plus 8v4, that's 13v4. Well, that's the only one that even works, so I'd be done. But just in case, now we look here. Next comes the v3s. Negative 7 and positive 4 is negative 3. That works. Positive 2v and positive 2v is positive 6v. So the answer is B. Okay. Now, the issue with number 12 and how it's different than number 11 is that when you have a minus, change the signs of everything to the right. Okay? Now, let's put stuff together. So, I'm going to play the same thing I did over here. I have 1 n to the 4th minus 2 n to the 4th is negative 1 n to the 4th, which gives me all of these, so that doesn't help me. And then now let's find the 3's. So, 8 n to the 3rd, now it's changed to a plus. Plus 7 n to the 3rd is 15 n to the 3rd. Well, that's still all of these. So then I have 8 n's, and I take away 1 n, and that gives me 7 n. Boom. It's D. Okay, let's go to the next page. I know this is a lot. So this is similar to the previous page. So I have 3a cubed, and I take away 5. That's negative 2. Plus 1 is negative 1a cubed. And there's your answer. All right. This is when it was open circle, it's less than or greater than. But when it was closed circle, it was less than or equal to. Greater than or equal to. So if you see, since you see it's open circle, it can't have the line. It can't have the line. It's going to the left. Left means all the numbers that are smaller. What is it smaller than? -2, because +2 is over here, so that's not it. Okay. This is when we do our boxes. So the dimension of this is a 1 by 3. So I'm going to do my 1 by 3. So I'm going to go 8b 3b squared minus 4b minus 7. This is when you multiply the bigs, add the littles. 1 here, 2 here, makes 3 here. So 24b cubed only lends itself to a. But let's make sure. 8 times -4 is -32. I have 1b and 1b. That makes 2b's. We're good. Okay? And then minus 56b, and I'm good to go. The dimension of this is a 2 by 2. So I do my 2 by 2. 3x minus 1. 4x minus 7. Multiply the bigs. Add the littles. Multiply the bigs. Add the littles. Multiply the bigs. Add the littles. Multiply the bigs. So now, if you remember, this is when these two were always the same, and you would add them. So it's 12x squared minus 25x plus 7, and that's 8. Number 17 is a 2 by 3. Probably should have made more space on this, but whatever. So 6n minus 8n squared plus 8n minus 1. Okay. Multiply the bigs, add the littles. Multiply the bigs, add the littles. Multiply the bigs. See how it goes 3, 2, 1 for the exponent? Negative 8n squared, negative 64n, positive 8. The diagonals, this time we have 2 sets of diagonals. So these two go together, and these two go together. So it starts off with 6n cubed, which only lends itself to this one. 48 minus 8 is 40. Negative 64, negative 6 is negative 70, and there's your positive 8. Do your 2 by 2. A minus 7, 3a minus 8. I think by now you've got the game, so let's just make sure you're good to go. Always have the diagonals. So 3a squared, negative 21 and negative 8 is negative 29, and then plus 56. Okay, do your 2 by 2. Just going to do it quickly. I think you can see that if you get this one, you're going to get a lot right. So 4n squared, but 10 minus 10 is gone, so there's nothing left, minus 25. Number 20 means you write it again. And then you do your 2 by. 7n minus 1, 7n minus 1. Add the diagonals. 49n squared. Negative 7 and negative 7 is negative 14n. So that's different. This is 10 minus 10, gone. This is the same. When it's the same, you add. So that means it's C. Now what we're going to do is factor. So now instead of filling in the boxes, we're going to start with the inside and get the outside. So I'm going to go r squared, 16. Two numbers that multiply to get 16 and add to 10 are 8 and 2. Since there's no number in front, I don't need to do my whole box. R plus 8, R plus 2. Don't do the opposite. There's no equal 0. Number 23 is similar. N squared, 18. Two numbers that multiply to get to 18, add to 11 are 9 and 2. But since that's negative, the bigger number is negative. But since this is positive, they're both the same. I'm looking for negative 9 and negative 2. Boom, that's 8. Number 22 is the most difficult because it has a number in front. So you're going to do your whole box. Two numbers that multiply to get 10 and add to 3 are 5 and 2. Since this is positive, the bigger guy is positive, so that's negative. 5n, negative 2n. Just for time, you end up getting 5n, 2n plus 1, and then minus 1. 5n minus 1, 2n plus 1. And I'm going to show you how you can cheat. Oh, actually, there's 2 of the same answers. Nope, there isn't. Okay, so 5n minus 1, 2n plus 1. This, they both have a b, so it's a 1 by. 3b, b, minus 3, 3b, 3, 3, B, B, 3, B, whoosh, B minus 3,